I'm struggling on this part. I don't know why.
If you wanna get with me, there's some things you gotta know. I like my beats fast and my bass down low. Bass down low. Bass down low. I like my beats fast and my bass down low. Come on.
Let's go. I beat down bass, dude. Hell yeah. Like my beats fast and my bass down low. First 9 circles extreme, which is kind of crazy. I didn't go the easy route. I wanted it to be Sonic Wave, but I'm probably gonna do that next month if I do it. But I just wanted to, I don't know, I started playing this last night and I'm like, you know what? I was getting some decent runs. I'm like, I might as well just go from 0 tomorrow, see what we can do, and I beat it. Now, as for my thoughts on the level, I think it's good. Like, wow, shocker. The level that people say is bad. I go into it thinking it's going to be bad, and I have a good time. How did this happen? You know, like, I like the level. It's fun. I think it's fun. I do think it's very weird. It has some pretty weird times. But overall, I think it's honestly just a fun level. I think the song works. The gameplay is honestly, like, I get the, like, too spammy argument, but overall, I don't really find it to be that bad, to be honest. I appreciate how short the pre-drop is, first of all. Before I actually get into the wave, I appreciate that the pre-drop is not obnoxiously long. It's only like, what, 15% of the level, and it's not very difficult, so you get to the wave most of the time, assuming you're not doing like stupid stuff, right? When I was practicing this first part of the wave, right, what I used to do was I would hold, go down, and then click up, and that timing was genuinely impossible for me to do, and I'm sitting here like, oh my goodness, I can't do this. So this morning, I switched over to holding, because I wanted to just go from the bottom and hold up, but for some reason, I couldn't get that release timing right either. I'm just like, okay, what if I hold, go down, and then just go back up? And that seemed to work out. Once I got it down, I didn't really have any issues with it past that point. I would say the part right after it though, same kind of thing. I learned a click pattern, kind of had issues with it, switched up the click pattern. Oh wow, it's consistent now. So it's like, that was a lot of this level, honestly. It was just trying to find the right click pattern. That's all it really was. I wouldn't say the gameplay is bad, but it definitely can be kind of awkward. With that being said, I think this was less awkward than both Anya 2 and Cyclone. So, I don't know. I didn't find it to be that bad. And this is harder, like significantly harder than both of those. So I don't know. You have the silly little like portal part at like 30, which low-key, very fun part. I don't know. I really like that part. It's kind of hard. It's one of the harder sections of the level, I won't lie. But I don't think it's that bad either. I did have a click pattern for that section, but I wouldn't call it necessarily consistent because sometimes I feel like I would do the timing and it would be too late or it'd be too early. I guess it was all based on the setup of how you go into the first portal. You have the little like spam section after that part, which is kind of finicky, but if you do it, I think I screwed it up with the. I will say sometimes I just kind of like resorted to spamming, and usually it worked. But I had a click pattern I would try to do, but sometimes I just wouldn't do it, and I don't know. I did end up dying like in the section after that spam though, where you have to just like you do the triple click spam and then you click once. I did end up dying to that section a few times. Once again, a lot of the deaths in this level, for the most part, felt like it was just my fault. I wasn't like, oh, this is unfair, or oh, this is buggy, or this is bad. I was just kind of like, oh, unfortunate. I guess I gotta time it better when I'm doing it, you know? Like, then you have this whole middle section, which is like, it's not that hard. I did for some reason die to 46 twice. Not sure how that happened. Like this section towards the 50s as well, kind of struggled to figure out what the heck I'm supposed to do here. But once again, you figure it out, get consistent, not that bad. You literally, all you have to do, go early. I was thinking, okay, maybe I have to like go from the top and like hold a little bit. No, literally, all you gotta do, click it early, you'll be fine. That's it. Maybe it's not actually early, but it was what I consider to be early. And it was fine. Never had any issues with that part. I will say though, this 60 part, practicing it, this was the hardest part of the level by far. I don't know. This like release into that micro click was so difficult for me. I don't know why. I wouldn't say that I ever really got it consistent, but didn't end up dying to it. So I'll take it. I mean, and then you have the part after that. Not very hard. The last release is kind of interesting, but I wouldn't call that hard. And honestly, that section, that's like the last hard part of the level. Beyond that, I don't know, like the late 60s? Not very hard. I consider this section to be the nerve control section for the most part, until you get to the end, which is like, I guess, the real nerve control section. Also, this level feels a lot longer than it was. It's only a minute 12. I thought this was like approaching 2 minutes. It feels like such a long level when you're playing it. The wave basically ends at 70 and it starts at 15. But I don't know, getting to there feels so far away when I was practicing it. Like I'd be playing the level and I'd be like, that whole run was only 50%? 15 to 50? Really? This is one of those levels that felt a lot longer than it actually was. A lot of the Excel Extremes I play, it feels like it's the opposite. But oh my god, this one feels like minute 32 minutes. I don't know. But yeah, this click at like 74, I kind of struggled with this one at first. For some reason, I would either hit it too late or I wouldn't hold long enough. And I couldn't get it consistent for the longest time. But once again, I got it consistent and then it just wasn't a problem. And then the click after, I never really had any issues with. I just found a consistent click pattern and it wasn't a problem anymore. That's it. That's the whole level. But yeah, beyond that section, you have the wave spam, which is honestly just kind of a skill check. Just make sure you don't like spam too hard and keep your clicks consistent and it's fine. Not that bad. And then I literally had to look up a YouTube video because in my mind, I thought I had collected all 3 coins. I had to watch the video and be like, wait, there's one up there that you're missing. Don't do the thing where you beat the level and you have 2 of the 3 coins because you weren't paying attention. So I'm glad I did that. I had to rewrite my muscle memory, but it wasn't that much of an issue because it's like an easy keep section. So, you know. And then I knew I'd beaten it once I made it past the ball click at like 90. That section wasn't really that much of a problem, but I would die to it occasionally, where I think sometimes you'll land on the slope and then you can just like buffer the orb. Other times you won't. I don't know. I feel like I would land on the slope if I didn't go for the coin, and I wouldn't if I did go for the coin. But I don't know. It wasn't an issue. Just hit it early, and that's like the last actual hard click, assuming you don't forget how to do the memory. That's all I really have to say on the level. So I'll go ahead and look at my temp count real quick. Oh my god. Yeah, no, dude, a fluke from 59, I over-practiced maybe not over-practiced, but I practiced the hell out of this level, because it's very learny. I think that's what it is for levels that have like a little more jank to them, like this in Phobos. I really practiced those 2 levels. I think part of it is also just because like, okay, people think this is bad, I'm not gonna take any chances. We're putting as much practice into this as we can. In fact, first played like last year. The real question is, how many attempts did I have before I start practicing? I'm not entirely sure. Just even this still feels like a lot. Not like it matters, but because for as big of an attempt count as this is, it still took me less than 24 hours. It took me, hold on, I think I started playing this around like 10:30 or something, if not later, and it's 1 now, so 14 hours or something, and I probably spent like 4 or 5 hours playing it. Not bad, honestly. For a tier 24, that's pretty good. Like, I think technically quantum processing took me less attempts, and I think Ithacropolis also took me less attempts, but I don't know. Those were also more like overall levels. This is a wave level. I'm not the best at wave. This is my first wave-based extreme anyways, so I don't know. I don't think the level is too hard. I think tier 24 is good. It's definitely high tier 24. This is like close to Fusion C, Carcano diff for me. Not sure if it's borderline or if it's just high tier 24, but that's about where I'm at with this. I don't know. I never really this song never really like annoyed me all that much. I have no issues with this song whatsoever, honestly. Like it's got a couple of weird spots and you could say problems in it, but overall I think it's a good level. Like actually, but yeah, that's about it, I guess.